Welcome back to my channel. I just wanted to talk more about the experience, the initiation phases that you'll go through as you are honing your skills and your spiritual gifts when it comes to becoming a high priestess and a seer. Um, what typically happens, and this is something that I've experienced and many others have spoken about on YouTube, um, especially those who identify as chosen ones, is that this initiation phase it encompasses a lot of it encompasses sorry it encompasses a lot of spiritual warfare, and that comes in the format of smear campaigns, um, karmic family and friends, people that you relied on, trusted, loved, and supported for years will all of a sudden turn against you. Or what you're really picking up on is that there's a lot of resistance on their end to you redirecting and shifting your life into this phase where you are acquiring the necessary gifts that God needs for you to have in order for you to fulfill your purpose. And encountering, a lot of resistance from family and friends is definitely one of the aspects that the Most High uses as a part of this initiation phase. In addition to that, the judicial system and any type of authoritarian system is often utilized to subject you to smear campaigns, humiliation rituals. Well, and also it's used as a mechanism for dismantling your stability. I personally was and have been going through judicial abuse whereby the laws have been used in a way that have taken away my financial stability and my financial income. Access to resources has been blocked because of the warfare that's a part of this initiation phase. And what happens is that God is allowing for these systems and these people to, I guess, behave and operate in a way where you are going to be forced to navigate your life from a different perspective. So you're going to be forced to navigate your life whereby you are going to have to put all your trust in the Most High and utilize your spiritual gifts in order to kind of get out of the binds that these systems and these systems have set. So the system sets traps, and the Most High puts you through this initiation phase to say, okay, I see this person has said this, and that about you. They have, shown you what their intentions are. And how are you going to navigate that using your intuition? How are you going to navigate this financial blockage using your intuition, using these divination tools? And so that is what happens as a result of you embarking on this chapter to becoming a seer, is that you will have this curiosity about you where you're very interested in spirituality. You are drawn to, figuring out the framework for acquiring a certain set of skills that would allow for you to level up. Because I think at the end of the day, most of us embark on this spiritual path because we've kind of decided, we've made the choice to live life in a more fulfilling manner. And I think living life in a more fulfilling manner means being true and authentic to who we truly are. And in our journey to learning more about ourselves, that is when we are seeking out God, because God is the creator. So God made us. So if it's anyone who is better equipped to lead us towards our true, authentic self, then it would be the Most High. And so that means that God has to kind of put us through a process where we're less reliant on this system, also known as the Matrix, and we are more reliant on God. And so that's why what you'll find is that the system And the people that are so reliant on the system, that have a certain mindset, and in many instances that encompasses our friends and family, some of them, not all, but we'll be able to identify the friends and family that are supportive of our journey and the ones that are not. And the ones that are not will, make themselves known just by way of their level of resistance towards our growth. And for many of us that are encountering this, it feels surreal because you're wondering, why is it that these systems that have so-called been in place to support us are no longer supporting us? And then also, this, in the same token, the people that you naturally, are attuned to love and support and expect, loyalty from, are the very ones that are doing the complete opposite. And I really do feel, as someone who has gone through this experience and gone through that experience and is still undergoing it, that this is specifically orchestrated so that the Most High can sharpen our discernment, and so that we can learn to trust what the Most High is saying, irrespective of what something looks like, irrespective of the propaganda, irrespective of what we have been indoctrinated to believe. Because in many instances, I understood what the law said. However, that was not actually being implemented when it came to certain legal cases that I was a part of. And so the Most High was making me aware of this distortion. And in my awareness of it, I was recognizing that because I was pulling away from my reliance on the system was pushing back against me. The system doesn't want to be exposed as an illusion. And so in many instances, a lot of people who are seers and recognize these distortions are going to be attacked by those very same systems. And God has to prepare you in terms of you being strong enough and courageous enough to trust what you are experiencing as valid, and not felt weighed down and gaslit by the very institutions that are not working for your well-being. And then more importantly, you have to be strong enough and have enough faith in the Most High and not in the system to recognize that God will always, always bring you out of the chaos and the turmoil created by those illusions. And I can bear witness to this. This has happened so many times and continues to happen. God will always find ways of navigating you out of the traps that they set. Whether that be, just certain loopholes that the Most High is aware of, but you have to be able to have a level of trust and discernment. And that's where your spiritual gifts come in terms of being able to listen to the Most High. And that can come in the form of divination. But it can also come in the form of listening to your internal guidance system. And so that is why we are put on this rigorous initiation phase, because there's a lot that comes with the warfare that is spiritual and actually happens within the physical realm, because of the fact that seers can expose a lot of the distortions in the system. And that is a very important concept to recognize, especially because I think what happens with a lot of us seers is we may not recognize what comes with having these gifts. There's a lot of warfare that comes with having these gifts, and God wants to make sure that you're prepared for that.